Minimalism. Why having less can mean more. In today's consumer-driven society, we are constantly bombarded with messages telling us that more is better. We are encouraged to acquire the latest gadgets, the biggest houses, and the most fashionable clothes. This relentless pursuit of material possessions can often leave us feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and ultimately unfulfilled. However, a growing number of people are finding a different path, one that focuses on intentionality, simplicity, and the profound idea that having less can indeed lead to a richer and more meaningful life. This philosophy is known as minimalism. At its core, minimalism is about consciously owning only the things we truly need and that add value to our lives. It's about decluttering not just our physical spaces, but also our minds and schedules, freeing up time and energy for what truly matters. It's not about deprivation or living in an empty white box. Rather, it's a deliberate choice to prioritize experiences, relationships, personal growth, and contribution over the accumulation of stuff. The journey towards minimalism often begins with the realization that our possessions are starting to control us, rather than the other way around. We might find ourselves spending countless hours cleaning, organizing, and maintaining things we barely use or even like. The financial burden of acquiring and storing these items can also become significant, leading to debt and a constant need to work more to afford it all. This cycle can create a feeling of being trapped, preventing us from pursuing our passions or enjoying the present moment. Minimalism offers an antidote to this cycle. By consciously evaluating our belongings and letting go of the excess, we can create more space, both physically and mentally. Imagine opening your closet and seeing only clothes you love and wear regularly. Picture your living space free from clutter, allowing you to relax and focus. This physical lightness often translates into mental clarity and a sense of calm. The benefits of embracing minimalism extend far beyond just a tidy home. One of the most significant advantages is the increased financial freedom it can provide. By reducing our desire for unnecessary purchases, we naturally spend less money. This saved income can then be directed towards paying off debt, investing in our future, or funding experiences that truly enrich our lives, such as travel, education, or spending quality time with loved ones. This shift in focus from buying things to investing in experiences can lead to a greater sense of satisfaction and long-term happiness. Furthermore, minimalism can have a profound impact on our well-being. The constant exposure to advertising and the pressure to keep up with the latest trends can fuel feelings of inadequacy and comparison. By consciously stepping away from this materialistic mindset, we can cultivate a greater sense of contentment with what we already have. This can lead to reduced stress, anxiety, and a more positive outlook on life. Having fewer possessions also means less time spent cleaning, organizing, and maintaining them, freeing up valuable time for activities we genuinely enjoy, whether it's pursuing hobbies, spending time in nature, or engaging in meaningful connections with others. Minimalism also encourages us to be more intentional about our consumption habits. Instead of impulsively buying things we don't need, we become more mindful of our purchases, considering the environmental and ethical implications of our choices. This can lead to a more sustainable lifestyle, reducing our impact on the planet by consuming fewer resources and generating less waste. By choosing quality over quantity and opting for durable and timeless items, we can contribute to a more responsible and conscious way of living. The principles of minimalism can be applied to various aspects of our lives beyond just physical possessions. We can embrace digital minimalism by decluttering our phones, computers, and social media feeds, reducing distractions and creating more space for focused work and meaningful online interactions. Time minimalism involves consciously scheduling our time and saying no to commitments that don't align with our priorities, allowing us to be more present and engaged in the activities we choose to pursue. Even our relationships can benefit from a minimalist approach. focusing on nurturing deeper connections with a smaller circle of people who truly support and enrich our lives. It is important to understand that minimalism is not a rigid set of rules, but rather a flexible and personal philosophy. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. What looks like minimalism for one person might be completely different for another. The key is to identify what is essential for your life and to eliminate the excess that weighs you down. This is an ongoing process of reflection and adjustment, as our needs and priorities may evolve over time. For those considering embarking on a minimalist journey, the process can seem daunting at first. However, it doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing approach. Starting small and making gradual changes is often the most sustainable way to adopt a minimalist lifestyle. You might begin by decluttering one area of your home, such as a drawer or a closet. As you experience the benefits of having less in that space, you may feel more motivated to tackle other areas. Asking yourself questions like, have I used this in the past year? Does this item bring me joy or serve a purpose? And would I buy this again today? Can be helpful in the decluttering process. Another effective strategy is to focus on bringing less into your life. Before making a purchase, take a moment to evaluate whether you truly need the item and whether it aligns with your values and goals. Waiting a few days before buying something can often help to differentiate between a genuine need and an impulse purchase. Being mindful of marketing tactics and the societal pressures to consume can also empower you to make more conscious choices. Minimalism is not about perfection or achieving a certain number of possessions. It's about progress and making choices that support a life filled with purpose, freedom, and joy. It's about reclaiming your time, energy, and resources so that you can focus on what truly matters to you. It's a journey of intentional living that can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful existence. While the initial steps might require effort and a shift in mindset, the long-term benefits of embracing minimalism can be transformative, allowing you to discover that sometimes having less truly does mean more. This profound shift in perspective can lead to a life that is not just lighter, but also significantly richer in experiences, relationships, and personal growth. The journey towards minimalism is a personal one, and the rewards of living more intentionally with less can be immeasurable.